Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is July 9th, 2010, and I am Darko. I'm covering an article titled 46 U.S. Warships plus 7,000 U.S. Marines en route to Costa Rica. This is from welovecostarica.com, and it was posted, doesn't say the day, but July 2010. So let's just start it. It says on the 2nd of July 2010, Costa Rica Congress authorized the entry of 46 U.S. warships capable of carrying 200 helicopters and warplanes plus 7,000 U.S. Marines. It says, quote, who may circulate the country in uniform without any restrictions, end quote, plus submarine killer ships to the Costa Rican coast for, quote, anti-narcotics operations and humanitarian missions. I guess that goes hand in hand, right? Stopping or carrying out the war on drugs because they make it illegal so that they can fund their illegal wars, intelligence agencies, that is, and then bringing vaccines and bottled water for the countries that they, are not doing so well. It says, with this kind of nation destroying firepower, it gives real meaning to the expression, quote, war on drugs. But if this is a real 6-month war on drugs, we should expect to see some fantastic results, right? Politicians representing the PAC, the Unidad Social Cristiana, or PUSC, and the Frente Empleo, FA political parties opposed the measure, saying that the destructive force of the ships, helicopters, and 7,000 U.S. Marines is, quote, disproportionate for the fight against drug trafficking. And could this be possibly, because it's a similar situation with the Gulf of Aden and Somalia, where they have an entire strike force, China-Russian strike force, specifically for Somali pirates. And that almost every major nation in the world has been in the Gulf of Aden in order to fight Somali pirates in the past year. Is it for that, or is it for staging an attack on Iran? Is it for what some people believe is a Stargate? I don't know. I couldn't tell you for 100% sure, but there are some videos throughout YouTube that are floating around where there's one individual who says he was part of Project Talent of MKUltra and believes that there is an underground Stargate or underground base in the Gulf of Aden. And there's also what I do know is that there is magnetic anomalies in the Gulf of Aden, and that is true. That's based off university research back in the 50s, the 60s. So there's magnetic anomalies going on underwater. Whether that's an actual Stargate, I don't know. And it's like the same thing with this one. It's purely speculation of what the real reason is. They say it's for drugs, but most things like that, when they say it's humanitarian or drugs, it's just a cover for expanding the empire and for whatever other political reasons. But the individual I'm speaking of, the McCallum, whatever his name was, who gave the interview to Project Camelot when they were still together, said that there was also another underground base in the Gulf. He said that he's never been down underneath the water, but he has worked in that area where the people that he's worked with stated that there was the underground base, but underwater base, I mean. And so it's purely speculation. Same with the heart facilities that are supposedly down in the Caribbean. There's one supposedly in Puerto Rico. I mean, I've seen pictures online, but it's hard to say who exactly is running it, who owns it. But there is a HAARP-like observatory in Puerto Rico, and then you have the Haiti earthquake, where some people believe it was HAARP or something similar to HAARP. So you do have some different things going on down there. And to put your finger on it for sure, It's kind of hard to do. So, but moving back to the article, it says on Sunday, the president of Costa Rica, Laura Chinchilla, said that the government does not intend to militarize the fight against drugs, and the Minister of Public Security, Jose Maria Tirino, stressed this huge, powerful military force would be under the command of the U.S. Coast Guard and not the U.S. Navy. Although I don't suppose the Costa Ricans, the drug traffickers, or we expats will notice the difference. A few of the thoughts that raced through my head were, one, to my knowledge, at the present time, Costa Rica is not suffering from any humanitarian crisis. So see, there you go, guys. This is a website that is all about Costa Rica, right? And so you would think that if you were from Costa Rica, or if you were a website that supports Costa Rica, you'd be like, well, if there was serious humanitarian issues going on, that you would be like, okay, well, let's bring in aid, let's bring in help from other countries. But they're saying that they don't need it, just like I just said minutes prior to this, which is that they use things such as humanitarian aid to go in there and bring in some troops and set up some vaccination tents and whatnot, and set up like they did in Haiti, which is what was the priority? It was setting up telecommunication towers and that, which they just happened to be carrying out an exercise just days, if not a week, before the Haiti crisis. The U.S. Air Force was carrying out an exercise for a hypothetical situation where a hurricane hit Haiti. So it's just kind of a coincidence. And then, of course, in the news it came out, and the main part of the exercise was that the U.S. military was going to be setting up telecommunication towers. And then, so it was no surprise to me, just a couple days later, when everybody was like, well, what's going on in Haiti? How come they're not getting help? And then they come out, and then there was a news article that said the priority in Haiti is not helping the people, but setting up telecommunication towers, which is what they were, practicing the week before the actual event. So, but so all coincidences. But moving on, it says the article did not make it clear what sort of humanitarian missions might take place. The article did not mention where any humanitarian mission might take place, and based on the truly horrific drug crime-related slaughters we have witnessed in Mexico, wouldn't it be better conducting these kinds of heavy weapon anti-narcotics I think that they had preparations in northern Mexico, with what is probably the world's worst environmental disaster going on right now in the Gulf of Mexico? Surely it would be more appropriate to conduct humanitarian missions in the Gulf, which is true, right? Or could these vital warships be fleeing from something far more dangerous that is about to happen in the Gulf of Mexico? That's pretty scary. The article did not make it clear whether these vessels would be patrolling off the Pacific or show of force or something more serious. There are, Russian ships that cruise around South America and near the Gulf, and they just started it for the first time since World War II. So you do have Russian fleets cruising around, submarines and that, and ships. So it could be showing force, something like that. It says, does anyone know if any of these ships carry nuclear weapons? Another politician, Francisco Chacon, defended the arrival of the U.S. forces, saying that, quote, they would give humanitarian support, build schools, and fight against drug traffickers, which is a bunch of bullshit, right? It says if these 7,000 U.S. Marines, 200 helicopters, warplanes, and submarine killers are coming to Costa Rica to, quote, give humanitarian support, build schools, and fight against drug traffickers, perhaps we could ask them to repair the new highway to Caldera. With that kind of manpower, they could have finished it in a week. So they're definitely being sarcastic here. They're saying that it's like there's really no reason for them going down there. But there's always a reason for why certain things happen, such as when the Haiti disaster striked, they were the British were pulling their flotillas of ships that have been based in the near Haiti and that, on the Caribbean. They had pulled ships that had been there for years, decades, and they said it was due to cutting of funding. But where did they move them? They moved those ships to the Gulf of Aden. So I think it does center around those two areas. But this area in particular, you have what? Southcom and South American Union. So, thank you.